And we are live. Hi, everyone. My name is Rosette True, and I am the host of Relatives Fight CPS. My lovely co host Stacy is not going to be with us today. She's probably working. Um, but I did wanted to bring to everybody's attention regarding relatives. Please, and I keep saying this, and Attorney Davis said this several times as well. Do not communicate with the social workers, especially when you're using the race card. I'm going to give you an example today. The grandmother told the social worker that the reason she's doing this, removing her grandkids from her son and her, is because of them being black and that they want to destroy black families and what have you. So the social worker accused her of being accused them of being racist and et cetera, et cetera. Now, the father of the children has no prior records. I just finished speaking with him, and the mother, like again, the grandmother used the race card with the social workers, and then they wrote down in the report that they grandmothers attack them, um, because they're white and the family is black, and she accused them of being racist. Okay, please understand that when you talk to the social workers, whether you're family members um, or even parents, you're literally setting yourself up to fail. So this is not about black and white or Middle Eastern or Asians or anything like that. Social workers they don't discriminate really. They take children, whether you're black or white or Middle Eastern or Asian or purple or green or pink. It doesn't matter to them. Okay. Their main goal is to remove children, and that's all they want. But then when you talk too much to them, you're literally setting yourself up to fail even more, right? They already lie in their reports. They already make up stories. They're horrible individuals who are possessed, right? So, but when you open your mouth and you say the wrong things, is going to be held against you, okay? And then it becomes a huge mess. Also, I wanted to bring up this to all relatives out there, grandparents especially. Grandparents, you might think you know how the system works, but you don't know. You don't know because it does sounds great. It sounds great. Child Protective Services. The name is great. They're protecting children. But in reality, the name doesn't define the department. Okay? The name does not define the Department of Children and Family Services. Their main goal is to make money from every child removed. They prolong cases. They tell the parents to do classes, all that. However, classes are just a distraction. That's all it is. It's a distraction because at the end, 12 months later, they either adopt the children, depending on the age. They place the children in an adoptive home that wants to adopt. So all the while that your kids are doing the classes, they're not going to see their kids, but they do give them false hope. So when grandparents, when you open your mouth and speak to the social worker, whether it's nice or bad, or you're accusing them or what have you, it will be held against you in ways that you cannot even get out from it. Okay. So there was a show that I did a while ago, years ago, with Attorney Davis and one of our uh, attorneys that worked with us. Her name is Jennifer Ani. She said the best advice I can give everyone, families and parents, is to listen more, document everything, but speak less. So try not to speak to the social workers. I'm not sure why everyone feels the need when they're in the heat of the moment to speak to the social workers and they think they know what they're doing. Please, guys, understand it takes years and years and years for an attorney to even get to the point where they're proficient enough to know what the strategy is to fight CPS. I have gone to court hearings with Attorney Davis. There's a previous court hearing that I can't speak of because when I was in there, the judge literally said that I am not allowed to speak of that hearing at all, not even on my shows. But all I can tell you is this. When you speak again to the social workers and you're the grandmother on the case, I mean, in the matter, and you think you're defending your son or your daughter or both, remember that everything you're thinking you're defending your kids, with or what have you, it will be twisted in ways that it will, how can I say it? If you said to the social worker, oh my gosh, I mean, my daughter-in-law is great. She's a great mom. My son is a great dad, a great husband. They're good people. They don't hurt the children. There was one incident where my son was convicted with marijuana used like 10 years ago, but he's better now. He has a good job. He's doing this. He makes 80,000 a year. And then the grandparents go on and on and on to the social worker like they are close friends. And hey, let me tell you about my family. Don't do that, because you're telling them all that, giving them all that information is just going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your daughter-in-law. It's going to hurt your son. Don't do that, because the social worker can easily say, well, yeah, the grandmother said that her son sells marijuana. Again, it's hearsay, yes, right? Because they have no proof he said that. But the hearsay, again, works in the courtroom for the social workers. It works for the social workers. It doesn't work for you guys. You get it? If you would have said the social worker said, it's going to be hearsay for you, the parent, the grandparents. It's going to be hearsay. That's just going to be like hearsay. What proof do you have? But if the social workers spreads lies about something you didn't say, then the judge is not going to say, well, I want proof. Show me where the grandmother said that, or show me where the parents actually addressed that, made that statement. You see how it works? I was speaking to a grandmother, and she said to me, but it's not fair. The system is biased. The system is biased against everyone. Everyone. So this is not a race card in court. Has nothing to do with your race, has nothing to do with your skin color or anything like that. So again, you're just making grandparents, you make matters worse when you open your mouth. So keep your mouth shut. I mean, that's the only advice I can give you guys when it comes to opening your mouth and start talking too much to the social workers. Attorney Davis addressed this a million times on his shows. Do not speak to them without an attorney. Oftentimes I hear that the ex made the allegations, yet the ex lost her children. But then she calls and calls and calls and calls and made allegations because the father of the children has the kids. Now, especially if the father is not the abuser, right? Say the father has the children, he doesn't abuse the children are happy with the dad. But the mother is not happy because she doesn't get to see them. She only sees them every week, monitored visits. Now, because the father has the children, the mother did not lose her parental rights. She still sees the children, but it has to be monitored visits. When you, the mother, you're trying to be vindictive, you're putting your children in harm's way. Let me tell you how. Maybe that will sink in your heads. When you keep making false allegations against the dad because of your insecurity of getting back at him, the children can easily be removed from the father and placed in a foster home that you know nothing about. So if you know the children are in good hands, right, and you did not lose your parental rights, the father has custody of them, then take it to family court, right? Go take it to family court. Don't go back to CPS. Don't keep making false allegations. Go to family court because you still have your rights. Go to family court and get a modification of order. Like get modification, meaning if you've been doing monitored visits for 6 months, then the monitor that's monitoring the visits will write a report to the court, let the court know how the visits go, the weekly visits go. So do it legally instead of making false reports against the dad just because you're unhappy with the results. Especially, again, I'm going to repeat, if the father is a good dad, does not abuse the children, but he was given full access to the kids to make decisions for their school or what have you, and you did not lose your parental rights, please do not keep reporting the dad to CPS because you're going to lose the children. So if you want to toy with your kids, go ahead and do what you need to do. That's on you. But don't do it like this. If you really love your children, don't do that. Try to do it legally in a peaceful way. You're a good mom. The monitor writes a report for you on your behalf for the court. Take that as evidence. Ask for the court, the family court, not CPS, because your case is closed with them. And now you have supervised visits. Did not lose your parental rights. Go to family court and ask them, Your Honor, here's the report from the monitor that's been monitoring my visits for 8 months or 6 months or whatever, what have you. I would like to have unsupervised visits. I recommend you also get an attorney to help you with that. Okay. There is, I hear a lot of stories all day long, and I go to court with Attorney Davis and I see what goes on in court, and these social workers lie all the time. All the time. I've seen it. I've been there. I was exposed to it several times. Most recent one I can't speak of because the judge made sure that I do not ever speak about it. But let me just say, how you conduct yourself in court is very important. Don't be a hysterical, crazy person. You need to hold yourself together. Stop using the race card in court. I have told you guys this 100 times. Every time you say that you're doing this because we're Black, you're doing this because we're this, is not because you're Black. It has nothing to do. All they care about is taking children from the parents, whether you're Black or white or Mexican or Middle Eastern or Asian or pink or green or blue. It doesn't matter. They will still take the children. So stop thinking that you're the victim because of your color. Okay. Again, and I said this to several people in court yesterday in the hallway. Last week in the hallway, where I literally told them outside the courtroom, stop screaming the race card, because the sheriff came to remove the grandmother that kept screaming the race card. And now she didn't even care. And then another sheriff came and got involved. And then now there's 4 sheriffs, kicking them out. That's not what you want. You need to hold yourself together. Yes, it's your children. You love them. Yes, your grandchildren, you love them dearly. And I get that. But when you show your emotion in violence, you literally give them something to hold against you. So instead of doing that, try to hold yourself together. And especially if you have an attorney, let your attorney speak for you. I'm not talking about the court-appointed attorney, because they're all the same. But if you hired an attorney, please allow your attorney to speak for you. Okay? And the reason for that is because when you start speaking, you're going to speak from your emotions of, the love for your children, how much you miss your children, how much trauma they're putting your family through. I get that. Believe me, I get that. But I was explaining the other day in court that, again, I'm going to mention Jennifer Arnie because, she's amazing attorney. I love her so much, and I miss her so much. She used to handle CPS cases for years, and she was going through a divorce, and she had to hire an attorney. And I asked her, I said, why? You're a great attorney. You can handle this. She said, I tried, but I became emotional, she said. And I understood what she meant. So even that, Attorneys have to hire attorneys when it's their own case. I'm not joking, you guys. It's real. Another thing, my doctor, one time when I went to him, he said, Georgette, I'm sorry, I had to cancel your appointment last week because my son was sick and I had to take him to the doctor. I said, what? I mean, I didn't understand that. I said, you're a doctor yourself. He said, yes, but I'm too emotional when it comes to my children. I might misdiagnose them. Okay. So it made sense to me. We become emotional when it comes to our children, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a nurse, whether you're, a CEO, it doesn't matter. Whether you're a grandmother, grandfather, it doesn't matter because we all love our children. Okay. But again, when you're emotional in court, they see that emotion in violence, that shows the judge that you are not a good fit because you demonstrated aggression and violence in court. I've met so many different parents and grandparents throughout the years I've been with Attorney Davis in the law firm. By far, I have seen parents who get it together, meaning they're calm. They let their yes be yes and their no be no without any further explanation, get ahead of the game. But the ones that like to explain what the yes is and what the no is, they don't go anywhere. It doesn't change in a good outcome for them. So Attorney Davis taught me, even when he talks to me pertaining to work issues or concerns, he would ask me yes or no. And I have to say yes or no. But it was his way of training me to understand that this is how the legal world is. It's a yes or no question. On the stand, when you're being cross-examined and you ask the question and you say, no, but let me just tell you, da, 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 da. But that's setting yourself up to fail because you're giving so much explanation about what you think the no is and why you said no. Especially if you're being cross-examined by the opposing counsel, right? So your attorney, after this, when you say yes or no, then your attorney, if you have a good attorney, then your attorney will ask you the same questions, but in a different way, so you can now say your truth. So again, when you're being cross-examined or you speak into a social worker, for example, do not say too much. Okay. I have been on several cases 2 weeks ago with him where he won cases. He literally won the case. Families came out and they started talking to me and they're grateful and all this. And I'm so happy for them. But I've also seen family members, grandparents especially, and aunts, the maternal aunts and the paternal aunts of the children, they really, 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 really become too aggressive in front of the judge and in court. That again will take you back to no good outcome. And I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys have your children back. But I'm begging you and I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, stop attacking one another. Stop attacking the social workers. Stop doing any aggression behavior in the case. The strategy in winning is get enough sleep so you can think better, eat the right foods, stay away from drugs or alcohol, drink a lot of water, and have faith, and go to sleep, and do not overreact. Because when you don't take care of your body, you don't take care of your mind, you're not going to be able to function in court. You're not going to be able to fight for your children. So this is just my advice to you guys. And to all women, I mean, to all parents, whether you're the father or the mother or the grandparents or the aunts or the uncles or even the godparents, do it in the right way. But you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your mental emotions, your your mental thinking. You have to be able to think rationally, and you have to sound like you're together. Okay. Um, Thank you guys. I hope all of you guys can listen to this, and God bless you. And I pray that each and every one of you have the children with you. And before I leave, I would also like to say to the married couples and to the separated couples and parents and the ones who are going through a divorce, stop attacking your husband or your wife. When you have children together, to me, honestly, the most important thing is your children. And I've seen fathers and mothers attack each other with child support, spousal support, and all this type of support. You guys understand that the court make money from your child support. So yes, they want to enforce child support. But if you guys get it together, right, without violence and aggression and deception, right, it would be better for all of you, especially for your children. Try to think that way. You know, I have seen good dads, great dads that I know personally in my life, where this father had a divorce with his wife, and they have three daughters, and they're in college now. But when he was going through the divorce, they came to an agreement. Hey, I'm gonna help you until the kids are in lost. I mean, sorry, until the kids are in college, and what have you. And he left her. He had several properties. He left her the house, and he gave her another property. So, anyways, he divided everything. They did it without any type of violence, right? I don't understand why parents feel the need to attack each other. You guys had kids together. You guys got married, whether you married a narcissist or not, right? You made a choice to marry this person. If this person wants to be violent and ugly, okay, and hopefully you can afford an attorney, the attorney will help you, especially if the attorney understands what a narcissist is and how the narcissist behaves in court. I get that part. But at the end of the day, when your kids are older, they're going to see who the bad parent is, right? They're going to see who the bad parent is. Remember that you guys made children together. So for the sake of the children, try to get it together. Try to handle conflicts different. Okay? So again, always, if you're Christian, you'll understand what I'm saying, but always make God first. God is always in your life first. And ask God to guide you and help you. And if you're a violent person, you're an angry person, ask God to help you with your anger. Okay? All this is important because anger is a sin. I found that out from a very good sister of mine, sister in Christ. She works with us. Her name is Yoli. She, if every time I get angry, if a social worker took children or removed children from good parents, I get angry. I get so mad, and I just start cussing. And she always reminds me, stop doing that. This is not from God. It's okay to be angry, but don't sin from your anger. Don't start cussing. Don't start doing violent things. Okay. Um, Everyone, and I pray that we have more of her in the world. She's a great person. I love her so much. But try to maintain your sanity for the sake of your children. Please, I'm begging you for the sake of the children. And I think I mentioned this um, several times as well. The most important thing to me is the kids because the children suffer more than you. Even though you think you're suffering the worst pain in the world, just imagine that pain 100 times worse. Children don't know what's going on. They're being deceived, they're being medicated, and they miss their family. Stop turning against each other. Start taking care of yourselves so you can be a blessing to your children. Okay? God bless you again, guys, and I'll see you guys next week.